Is TJ Watt really that good? In a league where defensive brilliance is measured by disruption and impact, few players have redefined their position like Watt has since stepping onto the field. As an outside linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers, drafted 30th overall in 2017 out of Wisconsin, Watt has transformed from a promising rookie into a perennial Defensive Player of the Year contender. And for good reason. His name is synonymous with quarterback terror, clutch moments, and relentless tenacity, traits that have made him a cornerstone of one of the NFL's most storied franchises. But is TJ Watt that good? Well, let's see. First, the entire football world recognizes TJ Watt's dominance. Coaches, analysts, and even his biggest rivals agree on one thing. He's one of the most feared defenders in the game, and his trophy case proves it. One of his most prestigious titles? The Defensive Player of the Year award. It's one of the highest honors in football given to the best defender in the league, and in 2021, Watt left no doubt. He recorded 22.5 sacks, tying Michael Strahan's single-season record. That's a number that sits at the top of NFL history. The award was never in question. Recognition at the highest level doesn't stop there. Watt has been selected to the Pro Bowl 7 times, showing that he remains among the NFL's best year after year. And when it comes to the elite of the elite, he's earned 3 first-team All-Pro selections in 2019, 2020, and 2021. That's an honor reserved for the absolute best at each position. Undeniably, sacks are one of the most valuable stats for a pass rusher, and Watt doesn't just get them. He leads the entire league. He has won 3 sack titles in 2020, 2021, and 2023. That's a feat only a handful of legends have achieved. Reggie White did it. Bruce Smith did it. TJ Watt is right there with them. Beyond the awards, another level of respect shows just how much impact he has. His rankings in the NFL Top 100 Players list. Fans or analysts don't make this list. Players vote on it. In 2021, they ranked him 9th overall, making him one of the highest-ranked defensive players in the league. When opponents say he's that good, it means everything. But the real test of greatness? Cold, hard numbers. And TJ Watt's stats are a story to tell. But before we continue, if you're enjoying this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell as we go ahead with the video. Let's start with the biggest number, 108 sacks through the 2024 season. That's proof of relentless consistency. He became only the second fastest player in NFL history to reach 100 sacks in just 109 games. The only player to do it faster? Reggie White. Think about how many pass rushing legends have played this game, yet Watt reached that mark before all of them. That's not luck, that's generational dominance. Since entering the league in 2017, Watt has recorded 22 games with at least 2 sacks, the most by any player in that span. That's not just about talent, it's about execution, week in and week out. Quarterbacks aren't the only ones under pressure. Running backs, offensive coordinators, and entire offensive lines must adjust their game plans when Watt is on the field. A pass rusher's job is to attack, but Watt takes it further. His ability to force fumbles turns a simple sack into a game-changing play. His instincts put him in the right place at the right time, leading to key recoveries and defensive touchdowns. And when teams think they can beat him with quick throws, he drops back and picks off passes. If anyone thought he might slow down, the last 2 seasons have shut that down quickly. In 2023, he delivered 19 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, and 3 fumble recoveries. Another season where he completely disrupted offenses. And in 2024, he recorded 40 solo tackles, 21 assists, 11.5 sacks, and 2 fumble recoveries in 17 games. Numbers prove dominance, but football isn't played on a spreadsheet. The true measure of a superstar is how they change the game when it matters most. Clutch performances define the best players, and Watt has had plenty. One of his most impressive came in 2021 against Baltimore. Coming off a stint on the COVID list, he stepped onto the field and racked up 3.5 sacks, disrupting the Ravens' offense all game. That performance helped him secure the single-season sack record and put Pittsburgh in position for the playoffs. Then there's his 2024 game against Philadelphia. Playing through an ankle injury, he still came up with 2 sacks and forced a fumble, making life miserable for Jalen Hurts. His presence does more than boost the stat sheet. It transforms the entire Steelers defense. When he plays, they allow 289.9 yards per game. Without him, that number jumps to 389.9. That's a massive difference. The Steelers get more sacks, force more turnovers, and simply play at a higher level when Watt is on the field. He sets the tone, demands double team, and opens opportunities for his teammates. A true game changer does more than one thing well. Watt's versatility makes him more than just a pass rusher. He's a force in the run game, ranking in the top 5 for tackles for loss in multiple seasons. He's strong enough to set the edge, quick to track down runners, and smart enough to diagnose plays before they develop. And then there's his ability to drop into coverage. Most edge rushers don't have to worry about interceptions, but Watt has 7 career picks, reading quarterbacks and making plays at every field level. His ability to shift momentum makes him one of the league's most valuable defenders. But how does he compare to the best pass rushers of his era, and even the legends before him? So far, he has played in an era filled with elite defensive talents, but one thing becomes clear when the numbers are laid out. He belongs at the very top. Myles Garrett is one of the most physically gifted pass rushers in football. His speed, power, and explosiveness make him a nightmare for offensive linemen. But when comparing production, Watt holds the edge. Watt has 108 career sacks, outpacing Garrett's 98.5. More importantly, Watt's ability to create turnovers sets him apart. With 46 combined takeaways, forced fumbles, and recoveries, he changes games in more ways than just getting to the quarterback. Garrett, despite his dominance, has generated fewer takeaways. Even in 2023, when Garrett won Defensive Player of the Year, Watt finished with more sacks, forced fumbles, and total impact plays. Garrett is a generational talent, but Watt affects more areas of the game. On the other hand, Aaron Donald is in a class of his own regarding interior dominance. His ability to collapse the pocket from the defensive tackle position is rare. He's earned every accolade thrown his way. But when it comes to raw pass rushing production, Watt matches or surpasses Donald's peak. Donald's best single-season sack total is 20.5. Watt has topped that with 22.5 in 2021, tying the record. Donald's presence on the inside is game-changing, but Watt's edge rushing protection has reached the same historic levels, proving he belongs in the same conversation. Beyond his peers, Watt's numbers place him alongside the all-time greats. Only 2 players in NFL history have ranked in the top 5 in sacks, tackles for loss, quarterback hits, forced fumbles, and fumble recoveries in a single season: J.J. Watt and T.J. Watt. That puts him in exclusive company. Even among legends, few have impacted every category like he has. His 2021 and 2023 seasons were some of the most complete defensive performances the league has ever seen. It's easy to dominate when everything is going right, but what happens when adversity hits? Watt has faced injuries, tough seasons, and roster changes. But has he slowed down? We all know injuries can derail even the best players. And well, Watt has dealt with his share, but he comes back stronger every time. In 2022, he suffered a knee injury that required surgery, limiting him to 10 games. That could have been a lost season, but even in limited action, he made an impact. He returned late in the year and immediately reestablished himself as a force on the field. Then came 2024 when an ankle scare threatened to slow him down. Instead, he kept playing at an elite level, refusing to let injuries define his season. Some players struggle to regain form after setbacks. Watt never lets it happen. Team success often defines great players, but football is a team game. The Steelers haven't had deep playoff runs in recent years, yet Watt continues to shine regardless of the situation. Even after Bud Dupree's departure in 2020, that didn't stop him from leading the league in sacks the following season. Whether the Steelers are in a playoff race or struggling for consistency, Watt performs at the same high level. No matter who is around him, his ability to elevate a defense separates him from so many others. Some players have 1 or 2 elite years. Watt has built a career on consistent dominance. Since 2017, he's averaged .93 sacks per game, the highest rate in NFL history among players with at least 100 games played. That's more than Lawrence Taylor, Reggie White, or J.J. Watt. Every season, every game, he delivers. There's no drop-off. There's no off year. There's just production at the highest level. Even with historic numbers and game-changing performances, every great player has critics. T.J. Watt is no different. Some say his legacy is incomplete. Others argue about awards, and some even try to downplay his role. Let's break it all down. One of the biggest knocks on Watt is the lack of a Super Bowl ring. Critics argue that true legends win championships. Barry Sanders never won a Super Bowl. Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl. Does that take away from their greatness? No. Watt plays his role at an all-time elite level. His job is to dominate defensively, and he does that every time he steps on the field. Winning a ring depends on the entire team, coaching, offense, and many factors outside his control. Rings don't measure individual greatness. It's measured by impact. Another common argument is about the 2023 Defensive Player of the Year race. Myles Garrett took home the award, and while he had an incredible season, the numbers tell a different story. Watt finished with 19 sacks compared to Garrett's 14, led in takeaways, and had more game-altering plays. So why didn't he win? Awards often come down to narratives. Sometimes voters look beyond stats and focus on different storylines. Maybe they wanted a fresh name at the top. Maybe they favored Garrett's style of play. Either way, the numbers didn't back that decision. Watt was the most productive defender in the league that year. That fact doesn't change, trophy or not. Then there's the positional debate. Some critics try to reduce his impact by calling him just an edge rusher. That argument ignores everything that makes him special. Watt isn't just a pass rusher, he's a complete linebacker. He drops into coverage, stops the run, forces turnovers, and makes plays all over the field. He's one of the few edge defenders in history with multiple interceptions, fumble recoveries, and a high tackle for loss count, proving his all-around versatility. There are plenty of great edge rushers. Few people like Watt want to impact the game in every way possible. Great players will always have doubters. It comes with the territory. But when every argument gets broken down, the truth is clear. Watt is an elite defender, one of the best of his era, and already building a legacy that stands among the all-time greats.